Elden. Just making sure this is up. Awesome. Yeah, looks like it's up. Okay. Let's see, we're going to finish up our exploration. And then Lucaria Academy. And I think right after will be the Caleb Wilds. Is there a drop off from here? Yeah, so for dealing with the trebuchets, just kill everything here. 32 strength, requires a bit more, but has some reasonable protections. On another note, there's also the fact that the shield does look nice. See? Flat like a frame. Nice silver. And a cuckoo. Now, if I was more reliant on a strength build, I might actually would use that compared to every other shield I've had. Great mace. Think of a mace, but greater. Because it's a colossal weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Great hammer. There, now these trebuchets with good problem. Another rune arc. There'll be instances where you get rune arcs like that, and you're going to be thinking, why didn't they just introduce another unit item? Just thinking is all because I'm. Yeah, that would be considered good too. The recipe I got is for bone grape bullets too. Mostly thinking if I felt like doing something, I may consider doing a strength bulky armor play style. Thinking about it, but not necessary. I already did something like that in my all faith build, except I was using claws in that still. So again, that's kind of why I'm considering, but at the same time, I'm not terribly worried about that aspect of playing. And mostly whenever you do a full strength playthrough, it'll be kind of like playing the Raider on Night Rain, where if you do set it up the right way, the best you end up doing is breaking an enemy's poise, but limited range. So, and one false move right there could get you killed if you're not careful. Then, of course, that's why you think about the claw mark seal and be like, maybe I just want to throw rocks at enemies. Since the seal itself scales with strength. And of course, you gotta invest into FP and all sorts of little things. Probably don't need to invest in as much if you use the sacrificial axe, which is pretty handy. But whenever I think of build optimization, how if I want to ever try and mess around with builds, and I think about how many hours I have to put in before it becomes effective, and then you realize, oh, they were just using one particular weapon anyway. And that was what my two primary characters were for. If I complete everything, go to New Game Plus, do it all over again, do some fun with it. It's one of the objectives of this game is, which I would really remind you, is to try to reach max level. And you could be like, max stats, everything, and just be like, woohoo. It's a nice thought anyway. At least I think so. I think Frenzy Flame rats can also drop remark. I'm not sure, but I do know that there's quite a lot of rats given. One absolute playthrough I'd consider is absolute nothing but arcane because I'd see how the early game system would be. It'd be squishy as all hell, but I admit being able to loot more would be pretty fun too. Which is what my original intention was for this character, but then I just decided, yeah, Twin Blade. Eleanor's Twin Blade, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, if you were to go far, and you do get that Ripple Blade, and it scales with games. Maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah, I did go through there. Got locked. Try to get my bearings. That's just a no. Eats cookbook clarifying ballistics. Grab them and basically reduce your resistance to madness. Cure. Shigiri's woe basically just taunts enemies. Basically, if you're in a group scenario, if you want to attract someone's attention, just use this talisman. And what basically it does is just torment enemies by taunting them. Or at least raise your aggro against them. Hello. Let's see what's over here. Might be something over there if I remember correctly, but we have to go from a different angle. That should be interesting. Frenzied Burst, basically you shoot a laser eye. So now you can pretend you're Cyclops from X-Men. Yeah, 22 feet. Well, I know that Mark of Blood does bleed. Chillbrains did poison and chill. Putrid Mark would send conditions back at enemies. And Reaper's Mark would only inflict fear. So even if they did, they might not. It's sort of the difference, like when they might do the same thing like they did with Druid, because even when you have Eclipse active, which changes your Celestial Avatar's abilities, it did not change the healing numbers. Because you could still heal and dish out more conditions. Well, we'll see. It's also possible that ArenaNet might be considering turning a Necrostaff from an offensive weapon to more of a support weapon. Yeah, so basically now you can have your well, it's better than Druid. I can only give one stack of stability to allies nearby. Hey, I came here, got the Finger Maiden outfit, so now if I want to look like a Finger Maiden, just dressed in hot pink. What do you think of my fancy new armor? You don't really see your character in front, so I never paid much attention, but if you look from the back side, it looks better on the back. Well, if by chance in the future you want to see some Dark Souls playthroughs, what I could do is review back the trophies, pick up the game again, and play some of that during downtime when I'm not waiting for updates on games. Yeah, because I can do 1, 2, and 3 because they're always on sale. Yeah. Oh yeah, the catacombs are a bitch. But if you do delve far enough into the catacombs, you can get yourself a silver covetous ring, so you can get more souls from enemies. And that's the stupid thing. For as long as I haven't played Dark Souls, I still remember the details. If it's stupid enough, I'll remember it. Uh, light source. I think you can get one for incantation as well, or faith, or miracles. Then again, it might be intelligence based. I was just saying earlier what I think I might consider doing when I'm done with this playthrough is I might take another crack at an all arcane playthrough. I tried it once and then I was getting my ass kicked, but knowing what I know now instead of then, I might try it again. And the idea is you would start purely arcane, strength, dexterity, and all that, unless you need it for a weapon. And then you just be like, all right, let's see how much loot all the enemies are going to drop me. So you'd be kind of like cosplaying as a traveling merchant. I don't know, that's the joke I got, but I might also consider playing Bloodborne again. Because the only game I got around the corner is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, and that's at the end of July. So, like I was saying previously, I have an entire between now and next month to mess around. And if you want to see a more recluse playthrough from Night Rain, I'll do that too, because I only have to play the Raider one more time before I can put him down, because he'll be at 25 matches. I'll definitely be playing Night Rain for a long time, though, because it's one of those games it's kind of like it reminds me of when I played my online MMOs, where they had a 30-minute session. And for me, Night Rain itself is purely just the aspect of killing time while being slightly nostalgic. Plus, I got my Guardian, so I'm happy with that. I think I think I cleared out this area. would you say your weapon of preference is in general, without thinking about any weapon that Dark Souls has or Bloodborne? No, you don't have to think about the game. I just say, just think of a weapon category, and that's about it. Kind of like it's kind of like a blind choice thing. Dark Souls 3, I really wanted to get behind the crow talons and the crow rapier. I had a lot of fun with the crow rapier, though. Like, I'm not a parry expert by all means, but that weapon was tons of fun to use. So yeah, with Neo 3 coming out eventually, because they're doing an open world aspect of the game between Samurai and Ninja, what I might end up doing sometimes is picking up Neo 1 and 2 and just playing that again, and then, yeah, just that way I can be like, okay, let's see what Neo 3 has compared to 1 and 2. But I guess from what I've read, based on what people's early reactions were about it, is that Neo 3 is going to be a mix of like Rise of the Ronin and Sun Wukong with Black Myth Wukong with Neo aspects. So I guess whenever Black Myth Wukong's on sale, I'll have to pick it up. It's got some decent armors. I just don't really care for that. There was another game someone told me I might like, what was called Lies of P, which I might give it a shot when I feel like it. Oh, and if Anno Pax Ramada, I think, comes out in October, which is relatively before, it's either before or after Dragon Quest 1 2 HD. I'll probably end up playing that, but I'll be playing with the commentary on mute because it's more so just between me and my dad, since he wants to check out parts of the aspect of the game. Because we've always played, like, Anno City Builders, but it would be more of so this one, I was pointing out, like, get this one a while back where you need a gesture, and you can't take any other sparing areas, but you need a gesture, but as the top, on top of that, you also need a headpiece, which you need one of these Academy Glintstone helmets. Any one of them will do. And they're basically those helmets that you kept looking at saying, you killed the Burger King. So you actually have to wear one of those to gain access to this. Yeah, it's a headpiece. It's the Academy's. They're basically. Let me think how to. They're called glintstone crowns, and the more magnificent the crown, the more renowned you are as a sorcerer. And some crowns will give you a mix of boost, usually in intelligence or some detriments, etc. The idea is that if you become so consumed by the cosmos and the stars, you become a giant glintstone head. It's kind of weird. It's basically you sacrifice everything for knowledge only to become an entire head of knowledge. Or what they call them is graven masses or whatever. Yep. Okay, that's taken care of. I can't go here till later. All this is done. The eastern section's done, so I only have the underground to do. But I also will have this segment of the area to take a look at. So we're going to do that. Oh, I've watched Third Rock, so. Yeah, I'm thinking about the three aliens, the father, the mother, and the brother, and then occasionally from headquarters there's a big giant head. At least that's what I'm thinking of. Vaguely. Oh, now that you mentioned that actor, it's like, yeah, everyone knows William Shatner. Great, now I'm going to have to make an Elden Ring playthrough, find the biggest damn glintstone crown available, and make a sorcerer by the name of William Shatner and see how many people would laugh in PvP. This game pretty much shares the same symbology as Dark Souls 3. I love the game so much to a point, but I also don't want to spend 60% of the playthrough trying to get my build re-optimized again. And because I like to do full exploration modes, you're going to spend easily 60 to 80 hours. I love Dark Souls 2. Out of all the Dark Souls 2 was easily my favorite, and the top thing about it was its magic system and its fashion. Top notch for me. Second best was Dark Souls 3 due to some of the mechanics, especially when they were reintroducing some stuff. And then Dark Souls 1, well, I just liked using the Quelaag's Fury Sword. Demon Souls, it was a, I don't want to say it's mixed, but it was a good game. And Bloodborne, because I count it, you'll notice when I try to compare a Dark Souls game, I only compare, I compare them as games as set after another. When I think of, even though it's the same company, I just say, as Bloodborne itself, what I loved about it was definitely its weapon system and some of the fashion. Because everyone can harp about, what's the best Dark Souls game you've ever played? And then someone says Bloodborne. No. When someone says Dark Souls, you have to say 1, 2, or 3. You can say Demon Souls technically because it's the same thing. Because it's like the prelude. You know, really, what I remember most of about Demon Souls that made me laugh is their male-female armor system. And that if you played as a female character, you would get more souls because there was a bracelet you could wear, increasing your runes, and it was only available to female attire characters. When I saw that part, that just made me laugh.
Hello, friend. Tell me if you know, would you? The whereabouts of the hidden house of those despicable fiends. The recusants who hunt their fellow tarnished. They laid hands upon my servant Lanya, and the tale of House Hoslo is told in blood. I, Dialos, swear to deliver the message.
The tale of House Hoslov is told in blood. I'd be tempted to play Remnant again, only because the Gun Souls game was about, it was alright. I'm in the class system, but once you get to a certain point, then the game is just, I can't be bothered. Remnant from the Ashes and Remnant 2. They're considered, basically it's considered Gun Souls for the class system. Fun game, but then you realize, But yeah, if I ever pick it up, I'll let you know. The games I was talking about earlier, Liza P, is like Metroidvania Dark Souls. Pinocchio, I guess. And Antronia the Last Song is an Italian Dark Souls. Black Myth Wukong is, I don't know what I'd classify it. I think one game I'd look at just for shits and laughs, but then probably only play once, would be Dark Farts. Even playing the roguelite was a lot of fun. I mean, the only thing I would want out of Night Rain, despite it being a roguelite, is a little more nostalgia value from all the games put together. And maybe the option to use an extra relic or two. I don't know. Like, I like the idea of the relic system, but at the same time, 3 relics is alright, yet underwhelming. Especially when most of the. Well, true, it's also an early game, so I'm not complaining. I'm just giving my opinion. Like, it's a good game. Huge nostalgic factor for their. It's just one of those games that when you see a new one come out and you think, oh, this is really good with what they could do. But I think what they could do even more, and it would really sell. Kind of like when you play RuneScape, Guild Wars, or whatever, and you're like, they should probably do this, but you know what? If they don't, it's fine. Again, I'm just too lazy to get involved into another MMO. I mean, I could play Elder Scrolls Online a bit more, but the only reason I got bored of it really was because Elder Scrolls Online is heavily gated as to online play action, and there are some dailies and all that, but then the rest of it just becomes a chore. At that point, I'd rather play Genshin Impact. Speaking of which, I still gotta play that game. Oh, I never fully finished the game when it first came out, like, because all they had was Dendro and Earth, and I think they were done their Dendro story. At least I think that's what Air is called, Dendro. You know what? If I get some, I'm gonna have plenty of time even after Elden Ring. I'm probably gonna pick up Genshin because there's no online trophies. Everything is just purely grind fest. Oh, I do the same thing. Yeah, I don't care. Whoever the main character is, it has to be in the party. I don't care if 20 different characters are better than the main character. You absolutely need main character. That's why I play the main. Okay, killed all those. I got the items here. If I ever played Genshin again, I am not doing pay to win unless I feel like spending $10, and that's if they have like a regular monthly thing. That's about it for me. Oh, magic pot, shield grease, and rope magic pot. Yeah. Well, no, I was looking at a lot of playthroughs that people doing, and the game is completely doable. Paid like without with free to play, it just takes a while. But usually, like even when I played Neverwinter, and that game is heavily on pay to win. I only paid for the monthly allowance, and that's it. Well, even Elder Scrolls Online, if you pay your monthly, you get access to like an infinite crafting storage. The only reason I ever paid it monthly is because monthly made a lot more sense. You got an allowance which you can use at the currency store. You got free complete access to DLCs, but it doesn't include the expansion released. But if there's another expansion after that, that expansion becomes a DLC, therefore it's free to be played on with your allowance. So I do like their allowance free access to DLC system. That's what drew me off from Perfect World. Like you do some of the dailies and they're like, go kill 150 enemies, yet they don't spawn as quick as you'd want them to, and you're sitting there like, do I really have to kill 150? Ugh. Yeah, I think what was funny about Perfect World is that early level 1 to 60, you'll get kill 5 enemies, kill 10 enemies, kill 25. But then once you get to this top status, they're like, oh, we want you to go murder 100 of this, then 150 of this, 200 of this maybe, and 75 of these. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the game and its cosmetics, but at the same time, the grind wasn't exactly an incentive for me to continue. But that was just my but that was just my opinion back then. It's better for me to say opinion back then because today I don't know what I think. First MMO I ever played was RuneScape. And that was back in 2004, 2005. Let's see an item. Be prepared to walk around on rooftops if you do get this game trying to be like, there has to be an item on this rooftop. I just can't find it. Another fun game I played was Warframe, but there's two problems with that game. One, early on grind, they encourage pay to win for that because you get some boosts, and then you have to pay for a few things if you want to get some extra bonuses. You can do it completely free, but then there's another system called the daily login system, and the game encourages you to stay on for at least 2 years because they give you a few buffs that are really good. But then again, when it came to Warframe, I only played one particular Warframe, and that was about it. There's one Warframe I was playing was Zephyr, which was A, it's a female Warframe, B, it's highly aerodynamic, and summons tornadoes. Tons of fun, though. When I think about the MMOs I've ever played, then I think about how much money I've ever sunk into them. And I think the most money I've ever sunk into a game was Smite. That game alone probably took me to around between $1,000 to $2,000 Canadian. Well, me and my dad were terrible. We were looking at World of Tanks or something like Blitz or something. We spent some money on it. Me and him alone probably spent like $500 into it. And then we were done after not even 2 weeks. You think about the games you've ever played, and then think about how much money you spent, and then think about how long you played them for, and then you just kind of look back at it and be like, this is something I should be laughing about, but, eh. I haven't paid for RuneScape's membership since they released a bond system where I could use in-game currency to buy membership. And I like it when a game has that option. You use the in-game currency to purchase membership. You don't have to outright buy it. You can just earn it. There's a couple of games that played with that feature. And they were pretty fun about that. I don't think I've ever played Arcade. The earliest, there was kind of like a cartoonish game I played, which were Adventure Quest and Dragon Fable. They were fun. They were fun. I would still play them again if I didn't have to worry about Adobe's virus program. And then there was a couple of discontinued games I loved playing. Like got one game that's no longer in business, like completely shut down, was Dragon Court. And how that game is played is as you level up, you gain more. Basically, you gain more battle tokens. And then when you run out of battle tokens, you have to wait till the next day. Unless you were lucky and you got a cookie as a drop, which would completely refresh your daily tokens. Okay, so this is done. So if you remember the glintstone key I got maybe a couple nights ago, it's used to access the main academy. Now there's a couple of little things we can do over here. So what do you think of the ornaments on this? I mean, it looks like someone bent a lead pipe and strapped a bit of feathers with glue. Well, I'm only wearing this armor set because of the lore behind it. But I don't like the front of the outfit at all. But you know what? You don't look at your character in the front a lot. You look at it from behind. Well, here's the front. It's got a little badge, a little thing, like kind of mark of status, and it's got this yellow blood stain type gear. Now on the back, it looks a lot better because mostly you just see armored plating, the cape. Plus, this actually looks pretty cool, even with a weapon. Well, that's kind of pretty much my savings grace in any game I've ever played. If I don't see my character in the front, at least I don't have to worry. Ow. Have a nice spear.
Well, it's been how can I help?
Berber's Cookbook 2 makes perfect grease, which inflicts sleep bone arrows. You can also buy beer boats. More stone sword keys. Fanged imp ashes, you'll actually need those later on. Not right away, you'll probably need them near the end of the game. And you can buy blue cloth warrior. If you remember the vagabond that you were looking at, this is the armor set. A nomadic warrior. Actually sell these runes. Buy those.
Rather safe.
And here's how the set looks. Where is it? Warrior. There you are. I am in cloth and tatters. All right, let's continue. So at least, let's see, so after this, the downstairs river wells and Caelid Wilds, I should be switching up my twin blades soon. Or Godskin twin blades. And the only difference from what I've read is it has a higher scaling in dexterity. Let's see, I got the grace here, right? Yeah, I did. So there's a red invader sign. Beast summoned to assist Yura? Yes. And this is how you would look as an invader. Bloody Finger, Ravenmont Assassin. Whenever you invade someone and kill them, you get a rune arc and basically frog finger remedy. And the reason I went there because that was part of Yura's quest line. Ash of War at Raptor of the Mists. Use it on any melee equipment, also turns it into keen. And basically, if an enemy is about to hit you, activate the Ash of War. You disappear in a cloak of feathers, and it leaves an opening for you to do a jump attack. I'll show it off. This is one of my favorite Ash of Wars once I started using it more. And it's really handy in certain areas. Oh, there you are.
Oh, it's you. That bloody finger was a thorn in my side. Here's a token of thanks.
Ooh, smithing stone.
Not have much. I'm dying to see you. Ellen. Yes, I've been trying. She is the dead lord in spite if she can.
Yeah, I want to go after Eleonora.
Be on your way.
I want her twin blades. Let's see, smithing 5. Yeah, too bad he didn't give me 2, otherwise I would have had a plus 15 twin blade. Ooh, nice. Now it takes 4 golden seeds, but I have 10 flasks. So basically, here's how the skill looks. go test out on an enemy. So for some weird reason, you suck at dodging, or you can't block at the right time. This is what this opening will open. But it has to connect. If it doesn't connect, then it won't do anything. And that's why you don't fight on a lower elevation. Basically, when an enemy hits you with that attack, it's considered negated. Yep, because you can use that immunity frame to perform a jump attack, or just leave it. Or you can do your light attack. As for the timing of it, it's kind of like a parry, but instead of focusing on deflecting the enemy's attack, you just basically ignore it. And you can use this Ash of War on any attack that manages to connect with you. It can be a spell, it can be a projectile, anything, and you can use it to completely negate the attack. It's very fun, but difficult to get used to. Duck into a low stance, momentarily vanishing. If an enemy attack connects, avian wings will allow for a quick escape into the air, which will allow you to perform a quick light attack or a strong attack, which converts into a jump attack. So you just figure out what weapon would work best for you if you're using their jump attack. Alright, now to explore the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to school. May I see your papers? Yeah, explains why everyone's dead here. I just noticed that guy in the offhand tried to whack me with a book. Who locked herself in the Grand Library. I found the mausoleum. There. Let's see, we got right. Moved in there. Oh, look, a sorcerer. All right, look around here. It's both a school and a graveyard. Back here. Now, one of the spells you can find here involves locating a secret passage, but you'll get the spell Comet, which is way better than Comet Shard. And if these enemies grab you, they drain your FP as well. And what's down here? There you go, marionette soldier ashes. Oh, they got a guard dog. Beware of dog. carrying knight armor. Not soldier armor and not the cuckoo knight armor, carrying knight armor. And this is actually not bad looking. Minus the helmet, of course, but there you go. I am from Bloodborne. Actually, I'll just wear these. Free gloves. Enchanted knights that serve the Carrion royal family. Unlock mechanisms. This might be the only area where I might need to consider bringing some spell-proof dried liver. Mushroom. Spectral Lance. That could be fun. Where is it? Usable on polearms. Reapers accepted. Cult, which is arcane. Skill the headless maul slave knights. Hurl phantasmic spirit foes. Usable on polearms. As for what the occult scaling is, it will make your weapon scale in arcane. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. Gravity Well shoots a gravity projectile that once it hits your enemies, it will pull them towards you. The bigger the enemy, the less the resistant they will be. You can pretend to be like, I'm Bill Nye the Science Guy. With Gravity Well, I will teach you the meaning of gravity. I pull you right off cliff, you die to fall damage. The end. These aristocrats, if you kill them, they'll get a gold. You'll get a golden sword, which you can sell for 1,000 runes. Here, let's see, Asher War. What do I got that's considered a polearm? Spear? Okay, spear. Well, even great spears. Or halberds. So spears, halberds, and great spears. Alright, so here's what this will do. As you can see, it scales in arcane. This actually would be tons better on the Ripple Crescent Blade, which you get from the Albernurix. So here's Spectral Lance. Bit slow, but I can see it pretty useful. And the fact that it's a cult, meaning it scales with arcane, would work really well on arcane playthrough. There's another weapon in particular I have in mind for that. Yeah. Well, granted, I was using that on a standard weapon with 15 arcane. Oh, who knows? Maybe if I throw it hard enough, it'll hit hard. There we go. I'm on an elevator. Remember what Patches said about a surviving virgin in the windmill? Ooh, there's my Smithing Stone 5. Grab me. Patches lied to me. There is some truth to what Patches said, only because if you do get grabbed by one of these, you will be chucked out. But I think you have to explore part of the map first to get access to it. I could be wrong. I don't really remember how I got there in the first place. Long-tail cat talisman. Take a guess what that does. Grants immunity to fall damage, but does not prevent death from high fall. So if you would normally take fall damage from a sufficient fall, completely negated. You can also reduce that by having higher dexterity. And again, you could just wear the cat talisman and be like, meow. Or your local kitties. Yeah, big. Someone goes that way. I think I want to go this way. Then again, maybe not. Apparently. Give me that lily. Oh, no, no. Damn it. There we go. The troubles I go to for a lily. Wait for the elevator, take the elevator, going up. Oh, that was a blood stain. Yeah, it was a blood stain of someone that died. Yeah, probably gonna get killed, maybe? I don't know. Okay, we're good. Wait, how do I get up there? I see. Actually, then again. Let's see. Maybe this way. There it is. No. Oh. Duh. Gotta figure out how to get that. You think this would kill me? Let's find out. Going down, going down. All I'm missing is elevator music. Do 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 do. Bing. Oh, winged marionette soldiers. They do have a beak helmet you can get as a drop. Oh, they're called Avionet soldiers. Features serve a sorcerer equipped with long hafted size, also attack disguised by lobbing fire pods. Sometimes malfunction when damaged. Church. Here we are, schoolhouse classroom. You just came out of nowhere. Inspect this scroll. Glintstone, Comet Shard, and Star Shower. Star Shower is actually not that bad. Glintstone, Book 5. Magic Grease, draw a stream Magic Grease, Magic Bone Arrows. Now I can do magic damage. Some of these are like hidden bookcases. Beware. And then you got stuff like this. Flowers. Climb up. And that's how we get the item that was looking at us from the side. A Libnus Glintstone crown. I found the first of many Burger King crowns. Increases your intelligence by 3, but also reduces your maximum HP. This particular guy, sorcerer to continuous study of meteors. In other words, gravity sorcery. Hello. Alright, let's go upgrade my Twin Blade to plus 15. I did find a plus 5 smithing stone a while ago.
Ah, the recusants sent a lackey. Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did, can scarcely believe it myself. You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer, and they only had to ask. The location of the recusant, it's on Mount Gelmir. Found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. You'll rue the day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslo is told in blood, after all. It's on Mount Gats where they just you.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your own.
There we go. As well, upgrade those.
There's something I should mention to you as well. I'm thinking of leaving the Round Table Hold. Do you know of the noble Goldmask? Though he was but a tarnished, living outside the lands between, he was a great scholar who foresaw the coming guidance of grace. And now, I hear he has come to the lands between alone. I wish nothing more than to seek his instruction. Golden Order.
This guy fell into a deep sleep, then died. Here's how the outfit would look on you. You want to look like a clown? Wearing the set will also strengthen Glintstone sorcery skills, not spells. Don't get that confused. So if you got an Ash of War that mentions Glintstone sorcery, like Glintstone Pebble, there you go. You're either this way or that way.
I am pleased. Would you like now?
Hold me.
You are so very warm. Dear Roger, the ancient Black Knight, along with the... Then good day to you.
Still, you got nothing to say. Great. I don't know if it's skipped over her quest line at some point, but at this point, I don't care. All right, back to school. Ritual pot. Not open from this side. Ow! Try to explore around the school and I'm getting pelted by Glintstone pebbles. There we are. This is a pretty powerful spell. Requires 52 intelligence to use, though. Yeah, I found that comet spell probably on my third playthrough because I never thought about it. And it was like, oh, what's better than Glintstone Comet Shard? Apparently Comet. Oh, where was this 2 playthroughs ago? Where are we going? I think I found the jar storeroom. Raven Spool Talisman. Increases your sorcery damage by like 4%, if I'm not mistaken. So, if you're a sorcerer player, early on, this is pretty much what you find. Oh, there's the downstairs at least. Oh, we got a boss coming right up. Red Wolf of Radigan. Now, instead of the consort one, this one actually packs a punch. Dark Souls 1. So yeah, a bit more exploring was... Yeah, Dark Souls 1, Sif the Wolf. Yep. Anyways, you have yourself a good night. The only thing I gotta do in this area is explore rooftops, or if I was to rush it, I could be at the boss in about not even 5-10 minutes. So I'll finish exploring, and then probably head over to the Caelid Wilds for a bit. Yeah, no worries. You know, everyone's having like an early day. Yeah, have a good night. Just give me a moment. Just signing. There we go. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is finish up exploring here when this area is completely explored to as much as I remember. Then we're going to And I'll save it for the next night because I'm probably going to hop on Night Rain for a while. I actually do need these for a bit. So I'll make 5. Oh, I actually got some. Good. Boost magic damage negation, which can be kind of helpful. I can also use the Spell Drake Talisman and boot up from that. Radigan Icon, a legendary talisman. And what does that do? It shortens spell casting time for both incantations and sorceries. Basically, if you ever want to be a spell slinger but don't have high dexterity, the Radigan icon will save you there. Actually, I don't even have to go to the Caelid Wilds. I still got the underground river areas to explore. I almost completely forgot about that. Jump down to the side. Hot. But I am not a crackpot. There's a shard. Glintstone Wet Blade. When using an Ash of War, because now you have the Wet Blade, you can choose to make it either magic or cold. Magic scales off of intelligence, makes your weapon deal magic damage. And Frost scales from intelligence, adds a bit of magic damage, but also includes Frostbite build up. Which Frostbite, once inflicted, will increase the enemy's damage taken. I also got a rather carrying robe. There's the Scholar. And then the actual robe, which is just basically a bluish purple robe with red tassels, or however you're supposed to pronounce that. I don't think these messages appear in offline mode, so you'd have to use your instinct for a lot of it. So now we get to explore on the rooftop. There we go, right. Those arrows. Do I even own that Chester? Yeah, not yet. Swift Glintstone Shard and a Rapid Attack book. I think it would be funny if you could get a book as a drop. Just put the book at him. Now this one's actually a bit difficult to do. Step on the spike, try and jump on the gargoyle ahead. I think you can get up there though without the necessary extra, but we'll see. And if you think you can make a jump, by all means, give it a shot. There's a drop down right here. Sword key. Now I can go back at the three sending gates and choose to go to a different area. And I'm probably going to choose the Farum area because you get a Pearl Drake talisman, which gives you all elemental affinity damage negation. Which basically just means resistance. Looks like I'm jumping down. Take your time, explore. There's an item over there. You can see out this way. Just some grease. So let's look around. So there is, no, there isn't. So there isn't a ladder here, so we'll ignore that. So for this one, just angle it a bit, drop on down, drop on the chandelier. Academy Glintstone Key. That's basically a quest item you're going to go give to Fox. Look, somehow I'm down here. So there's these special glintstone crabs. Once slain, they drop you an item. Which in this case, I just found the Twin Sage Glintstone Crown. If you remember the first one. Now this one will give you a bigger increase to intelligence, but it will also decrease your HP and stamina. Do you like my face to the left, or you like my face to the right? I feel knowledgeable. Personally, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing these. And even though you need it for a quest requirement, I use it for the quest once, like for the Rise requirement once, and then I pretty much pitch them. Shattering Crystal. If you remember Glintstone Shower, or whatever it was called. Crystal Burst. This one is a bigger version of it, 38. There's a ladder here, kick it down, and that's basically, if you remember, this is the start of the area. Now let's look around and see if there's anything else. I could be thinking of another area, but I could have sworn there was another ladder going up. And as long as this asshole doesn't fire his crossbow, you're good. Cosmos, the stars. Say hello to Azur's Glintstone Staff. Requires a whopping 52 intelligence to use, which ironically is about the same as the Comet spell. Scales with intelligence. Weighs quite a bit. It also has another special ability. Reduces the casting time of all sorceries, but will consume an additional FP for the spell. Let's spend more magic to cast it faster. I think you can kind of see how much they charge anyway. Let's see. So if we were to look at a spell like Glintstone Comet, it takes 24. Staff equipped. Now it would be casted a lot faster, but it takes 29 FP. So there you go. faster casting at an additional 20% cost. Well, anyways, that completes this section of the area for a bit. Let's go back and give my scroll over to Selin. Anyways, I'll be right back. There, I'm back.
There you are. My friend, shall we commence the lesson? Is that a scroll? Takes me back very well. I'll be sure to incorporate. Never lose that in.
Damn these cons. But yeah, if you remember, Star Shower will fire 6 stars, so it's a direct upgrade.
You wish to come very well.
Okay, now let's go see Thops. Actually, let's go see Bach. Maybe he'll take the golden deal.
Bok the sea ready to make adjustments. Oh, please.
Okay. So if you remember Thops, he was asking for a Glintstone Academy key. Now the reason he can't use the one I just used is because it's attuned to allow me in and out. However, I found a spare.
Back to learn another. Wonderful. You're most welcome to. Are you certain you're willing to give your glintstone key to me? My, oh, thank you. Thank you dearly. Now I can go back to the academy to resume my study of glintstone sorceries.
As you can see, you give him the key and you learn an emote.
Back to learn another, of course. Thank you. With your blessing, perhaps, who knows?
Now, if you want to find out where Thops is, simply go to the schoolhouse classroom. And his desk is outside immediately to the right. As you can see, he's dead. Get an Academy Glintstone staff and a spell that Thops developed called Thops' Barrier. He died to make a spell. 18 to magic force field to deflect spells. Deflect sorceries and incantations, hold to continuously create barriers. So basically, enemies firing spells at you, reflect them right back. What else was there? Oh, right, I wanted to talk to Patches.
Hello again. Oh yeah, there's a surviving Iron Virgin, and I heard if you let yourself get caught in it, it'll.
Yeah, when I lose my Ruin Arc, we'll do that. I think the only reason you have to explore more of the area before you can get chucked there, because I know exactly where you're going to go. All right, back to the schoolhouse. Earn some runes, pick up more spells. Wrong spot. Big parlor. Now, as you might have guessed, we're going to go back to the rooftop shortly. Let's look around down here. So it's our key. Ow. Carlos Lidstone Crown. Increases intelligence by 3, but this time reduces stamina. That's why it's like 3, but reduces health. Studies of meteors and comets. I found gloves. Yeah, so if you hold the sprint button after you backstep, you can kind of do a running, like a running jump. Almost. But it is possible. And you can make it if you just wait to jump at the last second. And you can pretty much see you'll be jumping around a lot. Look for items. Now this will take you somewhere else. Let's go down here and finish picking up some items. Now, what do you do when you get to situations like this? Well, not much, really. Because then you're kind of forced to go somewhere else. Like down here. Oh. Ladder here. So you just gotta look carefully. Somber Smithing Stone 4. Just some crabs, no ladder. No alternative route. And in that situation, you have to go back. But let's go to the 4 belfries. Since I got my imbued key. And we're going to take that key to, I think, Rumbling Earth or whatever it was called. Yeah, Crumbling Lands. This will give you a glimpse of a very late game area you get to explore. Which is all over on this side of the map. And don't let the elevation confuse you. Tornadoes and shit. But the main exploration is actually no, that's the frost region with the Bowl of the Giants. There's the main exploration of the area. Which is why I said you get a glimpse of it. As for where I'm supposed to go, That would be down here. Always look carefully. I don't see any other areas. Expect to take some fall damage. And yes, these guys can hit hard. You'd think, yeah, we should trust that. In some cases, you can. Just gotta be really careful. Now, I don't know if their weapon. Oh shit. It's alright. It's only 15k. It's not even enough for a level up. And there are instances where I do shit like that. You take a couple hits, you think, oh, I'm going to press the healing button. And then you're like, nope. Reflexes kick in, so you panic dodge off an area. Which happens. Alright. Make some poison bone arrows. My only weakness, a moving target. There, you're poisoned. Well, I gave 1,200. Take your time. Almost made a couple of mistakes right there, but the game noticed I lost a bunch of runes, so they're willing to forgive. I only need enough runes to buy the glintstone sorceries anyway. So you look around for another drop-off point, which is right here. And there's my reward. Now if you're at an exit, it's like, oh, I can't go anywhere. We have fast travel because we're not teleport blocked. And like I was saying about the negation, so the standard one of this is 10%, and this is 4%. All right, back to the debate parlor. All right, you can't slot an Ash of War. I was thinking you should put Spectral Lance on it. That was bugging me for a bit. So how many times you'll probably be coming up to this rooftop? Somewhere between 3 to 5 times. I had my shield up. What the hell? Or at least I was holding the button. Oh well, guess I didn't. Let's check if my button works. Yeah, button works. Guess it was just user error. That's nice. Game's like, you can lose 5,000. No, seriously, you can't. Where is the other one? See, my shield's up. Let's try and get that item again. Just try and anchor it a little. And there we go. Physics Stone 4. As I suspected, there is no ladder. There is a top off, so you can drop back down, but it is possible to make use of the environment and give it a shot. Speaking of which, oh, there we go, I got the helm. You know, the stupidest thing is that this actually kind of works with this outfit. Looks ugly as hell, though. There goes my loot. We got a ladder. Going up. We could drop down there. Oh, crossbow. Range of 42. Requires 10 strength, 10 dexterity, does physical and magical damage. Has intelligence requirement. basically, it's a not nice. It's a pretty interesting design wise. There's like a chime when reloading. And remember how if you don't want to make use of the environment, oh look, suddenly I showed up here. Screw it. Take some fall damage. So we've been down there, which means we don't need to go that way. Looks like we're going down. Oh look, there's a crown. Lazuli Glintstone Crown. This will lower your health even more, but as a bonus, you gain both +3 intelligence and +3 dexterity. Alright, well that takes care of all the little details. Let's take a minor detour and go deal with this rise. There's a thing here letting you know the catacombs are over there. You already would know by default. So if you remember that emote I got, Erudition, you need that emote. Plus, you need to be wearing one of the glintstone crowns. Now, let's have a Eureka moment. Eureka! I wonder if all glintstone crowns do that. Oh, that's cool. Still wouldn't be caught dead wearing these, though. So yeah, anytime you get a glintstone crown, use the emote and it will light up the crown. Bunch of ugly ass heads. Cannon of Haima. Shoot a spell that basically launches arcs slight bit and causes an AoE blast at the area. Gavel of Haima. Conjures a mighty magic hammer. Slam it to the ground. Somewhat useful spells, but overall not really. Yeah, wrong area. There's a bit more we can do. But this area is almost 100% complete. You see something like that, drop on down. Item all the way down there, go grab it. Keep an eye out for a giant ball. Giant ball trap, just move to the right angle. Oh, Smithing Stone 5. Take your time. That hit me quite a bit. Can't open that door. An NPC. Move from Carrion Knight. As for what he was trying to do, is a parry. And you'll get a Carrion Knight shield. Strength, dexterity, intelligence 15. 100% physical. So basically, it's a light enough shield that you can use. Anyways, take the elevator and boss fight. But we got a couple of things we can do. Open up the door. Hang over to the right. Now we can open up this door. And that's who was triggering the trap. It's don't scare him. Just like the incantation scarab will slightly reduce the FP cost of sorceries, but as a result, increase your damage taken. Now, if you take this sending gate, this will take you to the Rudon's keep, so to speak. Or no way, it didn't. I'm thinking of a different sending gate. So it took you to the Church of Vows.
Greetings.
Well, I took youth no matter to lay out your arms.
There you are. Shall we commence the...
Anyways, so now we're pretty much complete except for the boss, which we'll do in a bit. Well, actually later on. So let's go the Ansel River Dips, since now we can take a detour and finally go exploring. Let's see how long it's been. Probably play a little longer. Yeah, 3, 3. Maybe I'll take some Benadryl instead. Yeah, I'm just gonna pause it. Got everything necessary for now. Anyways, thank you for watching, and next time I'll definitely be looking around more. Well, we got the boss, of course. And the boss mostly does magic damage. How much does this negation do anyway? I think that was like 12%. Not bad. And then if I want, I can double dip into that. So up to 45% negation. Alright, I'm rambling. So thank you for watching and stay tuned.